We were founded by my colleague Terry McKiernan in 2003 when the crisis of clergy sexual abuse exploded in Boston. Today we run a massive online library dedicated to the crisis in the church. Our archive includes court records, church files, and news reports on every U.S. diocese and many dioceses throughout the world. Why are we here today in Cleveland? We're here today because this is one of the most secretive dioceses in the U.S., and we are urging Bishop Lennon to disclose information that the public has a right to know. He has somewhere in that chancery a list of priests, deacons, brothers, and nuns who have been credibly accused of child rape and abuse. We know just a few of their names. 45 are listed on our website on bishopaccountability.org. But Bishop Lennon's list is much longer. In 2004, Bishop Hilla publicly admitted to 118 accused priests in this diocese.
All set? Okay, there you go. Set?
In 2004, Bishop Hilla admitted to 118 accused priests who had worked in Cleveland. To this day, we only know 45 of their names. At least 73 names are still secret. Who are they? What schools and parishes do they work in? Who is watching them today? And are they still on the diocese payroll? Is this diocese endangering children by refusing to release these names? It's very possible and likely. Is this diocese heartlessly withholding crucial validation from victims by refusing to name all the sexual offenders who've worked here? Yes, for certain. We survey every one of the almost 200 dioceses in the U.S. Of all the U.S. dioceses, Cleveland has the biggest gap between the number of accused priests it admits and the number of accused priests whose names are public. The entrenched secrecy of this diocese, its brutalization of victims in court cases, its cynical lobbying against legislation that would out sexual predators, has made Cleveland a city of ghosts, of victims who are forced to suffer in silence. In 2002, your county prosecutor investigated the diocese for only 7 months and heard from 1,000 victims. Where are they? When the news media covers this topic here, they don't know which clergy sexual abuse victims to quote because their names are not public. They cannot be public because their perpetrators' names are still hidden. As Bostonians, we have tracked the career of Richard Lennon with particular interest. When Lennon arrived here from Boston in 2006, he said to the plain dealer that he had barely known about the sexual abuse of children by clergy in Boston. Quote, "Those were closely guarded secrets known only by a few," he said. He was not telling the truth. We have access to over 140 accused Boston priest files. They contain hundreds of memos to and from Lennon. He knew full well that many priests in Boston were raping and molesting children, and he played key roles in the Archdiocese's massive concealment effort. We have posted some of those documents with Lennon's name on our website. Go to our homepage, and in the search field, insert the keywords Lennon and abuse. But we're also here today because of 2 clerics who we recently discovered worked here in Cleveland. Both of these men are now deceased, but their victims are coming forward to report child rape in other cities. One was named James Walter Lent, and he was a religious brother here with a congregation of the Blessed Sacrament in Highland Heights. And we have information about him with us, and you can also go on our website and look him up in our accused priest database. In 1994, he was arrested at a mall in Spokane, Washington for luring a 13-year-old boy into a restroom for oral sex in exchange for $20. And he worked in the elementary schools in Cleveland, reportedly, in the 1980s and 1990s. And the other was a Jesuit priest named Roy Drake, who worked at John Carroll University from 1980 to 1984 as a prefect at Doyle Hall. In 2005, he was accused of raping and sodomizing a 13-year-old boy in 1969 on a ski trip that Drake was chaperoning. The victim had never met him until that day, and on the first night of the ski trip, he was raped by Drake. I believe that Richard Lennon is hiding what is basically one of the longest lists of unregistered sex offenders in this state. The public has a right to this crucial information. It's possible that unwitting parents are now letting their children have contact with sexual offenders whose names are being kept private by this diocese. And if you cannot jail these predators, and unfortunately because of Ohio's laws, it is hard to bring them to court when the victims are able to when they're adults. The statute of limitations have usually expired. Naming them publicly is the most powerful way to keep children safe in this diocese, and Bishop Lennon should do that today. I am now proud to introduce my colleague, the founder and president of bishopaccountability.org, Terry McKiernan.
Thank you, Ann. A few brief remarks to follow on what Anna said. We strongly feel that Bishop Lennon has a unique opportunity here. He could, instead of following the example of his mentor in Boston, Cardinal Law, instead of following the example of his predecessor here in Cleveland, Bishop Pilla, he could turn over a new leaf starting today and release these names that so badly need to be out in public view. It is absolutely true that Pilla counted 118 priests, of whom we only know the names of 45. It is certain that some of those people are in neighborhoods potentially doing serious damage. And there is a precedent for Bishop Lennon to do the right thing here. Dozens of bishops in the country have come forward and named their accused priests. This is not a radical request on our part. This is something that bishops in Los Angeles and Baltimore and Milwaukee and Detroit and Chicago, all of those bishops have done this. And here in Ohio, the Bishop of Toledo, the Bishop of Peoria has also done it. There's no reason in the world why Bishop Lennon can't step forward and do the right thing. Thank you very much. Oh, sure. It's Terry, T-E-R-R-Y, McKiernan, M-C-K-I-E-R-N-A-N. Thanks very much, guys.
We'd be happy to take any questions.
What response have you gotten from the diocese on your request at this point?
We are about to, I believe they received our letter in advance, but we are about to walk our letter to them. We have not sent them our letter, so we will let you know what response we get. We will be back.
And you're certainly invited to come along with us when we deliver the letter if you'd like to come.
Does anybody else want to say anything? Any questions or? Okay. I think what we're going to do is see if the bishop will take the letter. Unfortunately, I forgot the envelope, but I did remember the letter.
Super. Can we get a shot of it?
Sure.